Hey guys, what's up? It's Tova. I hope you all are doing well and staying safe out there. Today we have an exciting video. I have read through a bunch of your comments on my recent YouTube videos, and a lot of them ask for more tips, for more advice on starting a business and how to grow it. Just kind of like all the back end stuff that comes along with growing a business and starting it. Today's video is going to be all about growing your business, and I have 6 tips that I have thought and written about on how I think I grew my business. I'm not claiming I'm a professional or like my business is the best business ever, because it is definitely not. But I know that you guys do appreciate the tips that I give, and I try to be as transparent as possible. So I'm just coming on here with my own opinions and my own practices and explaining what I did for my business and what I think my best tips are for growing your small business. These aren't in any particular order of like which one is better or more important than others. I'm just kind of gonna be spitting out my ideas. The first tip I have to growing your business is simply doing research. I think that it's very important to do research as a small business owner if you want to grow, because you need to know what's trending. What are you going to do that's different? What's gonna set you apart? What's your target audience? As long as you can identify those things, then you can utilize those things to help you grow. So let's break this down. The number one thing that I think you should research at the very beginning is, how is your brand different, and what kind of brands are there out there that are like yours? Because for me, there's a bunch of positive brands and I love them. I follow them. I am inspired by them. And I think that's important to see like what kind of brands are doing the same things that you're doing. Just because another brand has another design that has a big quote on the back of a shirt does not mean that you can't do the same thing. You should be conscious of what kind of brands are out there that have similar things. Like, are you trying to start a candle business? Like, how are your candles going to be different than any other candles? How is your aesthetic? How is your brand message, your values? Like, how is that going to differentiate from someone else's? And then the second kind of question to ask with that is, are you copying someone? Because if you're copying someone, I can see through it, and I would hope that other people can see through people when they copy others. It's identifying that base where it's like, okay, I acknowledge that there are other brands out there that are doing similar things to me, but this is how I'm different. This is how my brand is my brand, and nobody can take that away from me. Now, the next thing when it comes to doing your research is trends. What colors are in? I launched the forest green hoodies for my I'm So Grateful For You collection. I did not think that they were going to be a hit at all. I thought that chocolate brown was going to be a way bigger hit than forest green, because I saw browns and mochas and I was like, chocolate brown is 100% going to do better. And then forest green just took the lead, and forest green is by far my best selling color that I've ever had with Reborn Club. And it's kind of about like reading the room, like what are the trends? And then I realized now that forest green is very, very in, and everybody loves a good forest green vibe in their feed aesthetic on Instagram and TikTok and Pinterest. Like, all those colors are really in. The next things that you can do in terms of doing research is, what is your target audience? So this can either be identified, and I would recommend it be identified before you start your business. But if you don't identify it before you start your business, then once you do start your business, you can see so many analytics on your TikTok, on your Instagram, on your YouTube. And you can see who your audience is, where they're located, how old they are, the gender that watches you the most or interacts with you the most. And think about that when it comes to growing your business. Like, what are you creating your products around? If your demographic is mostly females, then are you creating things that would catch their attention? And if your demographic is young adults, are you creating things that would catch their attention? And the last thing I recommend doing your research on when it's trying to grow your socials in particular is, what posts do the best? So for me, I recognized this when I realized how good my try-on hauls were doing. I posted a couple before, and I noticed each and every time that they hit over 10,000 views, and I was like, this is really good. And then I posted a try-on video like right before launch, and it hit 1 million views over time. Since then, I've been posting more and more try-on hauls, and every time I post a try-on haul, it does well. So it's acknowledging and realizing what posts do well, what posts do my audience engage with, and continuing to do those things, you can either repeat it or you can like put a twist on it. So that's tip number one, and it has to do with research. Tip number two, I'm going to go into socials. The very first tip I have is establishing your social media channels. So for me, my social media channels are TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest. Everything else, I don't really utilize Facebook or Twitter very much. And this goes to say also that if you don't have a TikTok and you're trying to grow your brand, just get a TikTok. I promise you, TikTok is not as scary as it is. I prefer TikTok over Instagram, if I'm being honest, because you can be more real and just share your authentic self and show the behind the scenes, and people love videos, and you never know when a TikTok is going to pop off. I never in a million years thought some of my TikToks that got over 50,000 views would get that. I just posted it and I was like, this is funny, I enjoyed filming this, and it did. Never know what TikTok might change your life. Now, the second thing that comes with your business and growing it in socials is your feed. So you want to develop like an aesthetic, and this also comes with doing your research because you will determine what your brand aesthetic is. Being coherent with your platforms of what you want your aesthetic to be like. So I truly believe, like especially when I hop on someone's TikTok or on someone's Instagram, that having an aesthetic of the page will gravitate me more towards them and will kind of give some credibility to the brand. What is a vibe you want to put out from your brand on your social media channels that will make people instantly feel something towards your brand without them even like buying anything or going on your website, just from their first impression clicking on your social medias. Another question that you have to ask when you're trying to grow your socials is, will you show face? It's okay to not show face. Are you gonna be transparent with your brand, or are you gonna be kind of like on the back end and just make your brand seem kind of anonymous? Are you going to share your journey with your business? Are you going to show face, or are you going to be on the back end? Because this does have a big role to play with your social media and growing your business. Okay, so that's number two in terms of socials. The third thing is consistency. Consistency is obviously something that is extremely important. Growing anything or for accomplishing anything, you have to be consistent. So tying with social media, it's important that you are consistent with social media platforms. With TikTok, the most growth I saw was when I was posting 2 to 3 times a day, and I would post like 5 to 7 days of the week. And that is when I started seeing my social media channels take off, and with you too as well. It's like posting weekly and actually being consistent with that so people can expect videos out of you. And I always thought about it this way: if you post 3 videos a day for 7 days a week, that's 21 videos that has an exposure to people, and 21 videos that could potentially go viral. But if you post 1 video a day for 3 days of the week because you're not consistent, that's only 3 videos that have the chance to get exposure and to go viral. Think about it that way. Like, the more consistent, the more you put out there, the higher the chance that it'll get picked up into the algorithm, and the higher the chance that it can go viral. It's very, very important that in the busiest and the slowest of times that you are consistent no matter what. It's also important that you don't get lazy with your brand when you're trying to grow it, because I think people can see right through that. Especially in my eyes, like, I can see when someone's getting lazy with their brand, or when they stop prioritizing it, and it doesn't make me feel like I would want to support it because they don't seem like they're super passionate about it. People feel that kind of energy, like even if they're not around you, they can feel it through the screen. They can feel that you are passionate about something, and that will make people feel more connected to the brand, more connected to you, and more connected to buy something, which in turn will make you grow. Now, the fourth tip is going to be quality. Quality in terms of photo quality, content quality, website quality, and packaging quality. So the first thing is photo quality. I'll show you a photo from when I first started my brand into a photo that I take now, and not that now is like my final state and it's perfect, it's not, but it is a way bigger improvement than when I first started taking my shirt photos and brand photos. One thing is, like, if you're taking stuff on your phone, you don't realize half the time that there's a lot of grease and smudge on your phone. So every time before you take a photo, like, wipe your cameras because I could see on social media, like especially when people take videos, and it's like greasy, like you can clearly see that the camera is not clean, and that is such a big ick for me because it's just not a good quality video or a good quality photo, even if you're coming on your sword to talk. Be conscious of that and trying to create something that's like well lit and doesn't look like you're filming something or taking your photo on the carpet of your basement. Like, you want to make things look as professional as possible, and especially if you're running your business from home, you want to make it look almost like you're not running your business from home, and from the outside perspective that you do have like a warehouse, or you have a lot more tools and technology than you might actually have. That's my first tip with photo quality, because I think that plays a huge role. And if you do have professional photos, then it makes your brand look way more professional in general. And the next thing is content quality, and kind of asking yourself, like, are you posting something just for sake of posting something, or are you posting something because it actually is quality and means something? So I think that photo quality and content quality kind of go hand in hand, but they do have a really, really good chance at growing your business. Kind of look around at the businesses that are succeeding and mirror their kind of content in their photo quality. You do not need a special camera. You do not need anything other than your phone. Just, like I said, like, wipe the screens, you know, stand in a well-lit place and make your backgrounds look as appealing as possible. Next thing is website quality. I know building a website can be kind of tricky. I also know that, like, not everybody knows how to build a website, and that is totally okay. You can obviously hire someone to build it, or you can just learn yourself, but there are several things that I think you can do that can make your website look higher quality. Things like headers, a main photo that is good quality once again on your website, having like descriptions, and also adjusting with your fonts and the color schemes, kind of making sure all those color schemes on your website go together and the font doesn't look like tacky, or it doesn't look like you just, like, that was the first font that was on the website and you just decided to choose it. Once again, look at your brands that inspire you and look at their websites and don't copy them. Look around and see, you know, they're successful, they're growing. What do their websites look like? Like, how do their photo qualities look like? Like, how is their layout like? Can you easily navigate through the website? These are all questions that you should ask and question about your own website. And the last thing is packaging quality. So I know some people care about this and some people don't. Personally, I think it's important to put time and thought into your packaging and to really up the quality of that, but not to a point where it just seems excessive. So I think thank you cards are a great thing in packaging that does show quality. I think adding in like a freebie, like for me it's stickers, I think that also does show quality. You know, your choice of poly mailers, or if you're using boxes, your choice of tissue paper in the boxes, or I think all of those things can aid in growing your business, because it will either make someone want to come back, or it'll make your packaging look so cute that people would almost want to buy your items just based off of the packaging. My fifth tip, we're almost done here, is filming and documenting everything, because I think that this can have another big thing to do with growing your business. People love to see transformations. They love to see like the underdog win. They love to see growth. And I've seen that with my own brand, and I've seen that with other people too. And that's why I think it's so important for you to document everything, because once again, you never know what's going to be picked up by the algorithm and just loved and going viral. Like, you never know. And you also never know what someone might find interesting, just because you might not think that like you like prepping thank you cards, or like rounding the corners of something, or like packaging like 50 orders, just because you might not think that that's interesting. Like, you never know who might think that is interesting. Also, in my opinion, but this is also probably biased because I am someone who shows face on their brand, I do think that being transparent and showing behind the scenes and showing like the nitty-gritties of your brand does help with brand growth, because I found that people feel like a bigger connection to the brand because they feel like they're almost part of it. I think allowing people to get to know the brand, get to know the meaning behind the brand, get to know the person behind the brand, I think all of those things really can play a role in terms of growth, because businesses now, I think, has a big thing to do with emotional connection. And especially for me, like, I might not be in love with the product, but if I'm emotionally connected to it, I am way more likely to buy it, because our emotions kind of speak louder. I feel like if you can connect to people on an emotional level by just documenting everything and being transparent and, you know, sharing what something actually means to you. Like, my biggest thing is like, I always share what every collection means to me, because every collection isn't just made like that. It takes time, and it takes, you know, a lot of brainstorming, and I do have a story behind every collection, and I think it's so important that you explain that. If you can do all of those things, I think you can really build that emotional connection, and in turn that will help your business grow. The last tip is, I wouldn't say necessarily if it's like a tip, but it's more so like an open question. And that open question is, ask yourself if someone would A, buy from you, or B, return back to you. The second question you need to ask under that is, would you buy from you? If you were to see your brand somewhere, would you buy it? Would you feel that kind of connection? Because that leads to the next question, which is, are your products genuine? I think as a business owner, you should be passionate about your brand. You should wear your brand. You should use your brand, whatever your business is. You should be interested in it and using it. I guess that's the last question with this open-ended question is, are you creating things that you believe in? And that's probably one of the most important questions of all, because you need to believe in what you're making. You need to be your own customer, because if you are creating something that you don't even think that you would buy, I think you should reevaluate your brand and see how you can change it. I think that this open-ended question can play a huge role in your growth and kind of help you think more critically about your brand. It'll help you recognize why people might not be gravitating towards your brand, and then that in turn will help you be able to learn how to grow it, or it might tell you why someone might not be coming back to your brand. You hooked them in the first time, but why aren't they coming back? So those are like my top 6 tips that I have. I really hope that helped. They aren't like tangible things. They're more so just things that can help you think more critically about your brand and ask yourself some important questions and see what areas you may be lacking in. And I don't know, I hope that can help. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any videos of mine, and so we can become friends. If you guys have any questions, just leave a comment down below and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you sometime soon, and don't forget to stay cool. Peace.
Funky. My darling, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.